Hey, it's just so Trish, and I want to talk a little bit about um, budgets, money, and bill paying. So I do want to tell you, last year we did Financial Peace University. Dave Ramsey. Yeah, it's a little dusty. We did it. It was awesome. It was actually not our first financial. I don't know why the color just changed. I don't know what. It wasn't our first financial class that we took. We had taken one literally 2008, right when everything crashed, and it was a big game changer for us. But I will tell you, it did not have the goals that Dave Ramsey had in the way that they had it. I don't know if we would have turned out better or worse. I know when we took Dave Ramsey's class, it was a little bit frustrating when we weren't told to do that. Like, we were never told to pay ourselves first. We were told to admonish debt. And we did. And so, but it left us with no cushion, no savings or anything like that. So, we are still slowly, we're like baby step number, we're on the 3 to 5 months worth of savings, emergency stash. And we are on like, still starting that. Still like working to start that. So, one of the things I ran into going through the Financial Peace University was dealing with paying bills. So the history that we have, my house has, me and my husband have, for paying bills is I don't pay them. I am not to be trusted. And he's very fanatical about it. He's been paying bills for the 13 years. I've had 2 incidences that I paid bills. And I will tell you my big problem. I know I'm not, I wish I was more responsible, but I'm not. Is getting the bill in the mailbox. Not writing the check, not paying the bills, but actually mailing the bills was an issue for me. And I'd forget. I will tell you, it's a huge difference now with being able to pay everything online. Big difference. So my husband, for the last years, would become this like crazy mean monster mess because kind of like, what's on first, what's on second, here we go. And we deal with several bank accounts. I don't know if you have that going on for you, but we like exist within about 4 bank accounts. And it's like, well, what's here and what's there? And, you know, and I would be like, well, and he's like, well, you don't know, you have to. And I was like, this is why I don't want to do it. It seems so confusing. I can't begin. And so I sat through the Dave Ramsey. And immediately one of the first things I did was I got an equivalent of one of these. Hold on. I got one of these. But the nice part was we started our class literally last year. Last year this week. Or last week. And so we were starting in January. And I literally just took a page. I wrote January, and I wrote the bank account, and I wrote the balance, and I just started writing here. And then I kind of wrote the other bank account here that we used minorly, and wrote the balance, and kind of started turning a page in one of these into kind of my register. Because I was trying to figure out how to get it to work. You know, and if you've done the Financial Peace University, you'll know that you'll start doing the debt snowball, and you're kind of tracking different things. And I had a really hard time, but I started with a composition notebook just to record things because I could not grasp my head on how to organize it. And well, if you've watched some of my homeschool stuff, I love forms. I can't help it. I like making them. I don't always have time to make them, but I like making them. So I love the Dave Ramsey forms that come in the book. You know, so you have like the workbook, and then in the back you have like all these great forms to use to figure out, you know, like, are you doing your debt snowball? And I haven't I don't want to rip them out. I actually like being able to look at them, and I want to rebuild them all the time to figure out to make them work for us. So, yeah, we're still working on this. I did all of the sessions except the last one. The last one. I kind of skipped out on my last one because, you see, I had a baby that morning. So, yeah, I mean, I really stuck to it. I really liked it. It was very amazing. And the thing about it, too, is I'll have to do another video on, like, what's really cool about doing the Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University. And when I do, I will stick it and give you an iCard there. But if you've used it, you know, leave me a comment. So I started recording everything here to try and figure out how to wrap my brain around using multiple bank accounts, using your registers, and how to keep track of everything. Because my husband has been doing it on the fly for years. And it was taking a toll and stress. And going through the Dave Ramsey class came to, you guys and I am the spender. He's not. I'm the spender, just if you didn't know. And we came into having to switch roles and making that decision during the class to switch roles to me becoming the bill payer. So I had to figure out my best way. So about 4 months into doing this, I finally came up with some sort of method. Now, I did it for the entire year. It worked out nice at the end of the year, and so then I started back up. So now that I have some experience and I'm not coming to you like, hey, I'm going to do this. What do you guys think? Hey, this is what I actually did. Okay, one of the things I did was I actually built a bill paying binder. I know some of you are going, really, Trish? We got that. This was a new one for me. And I'm going to tell you, I did not, see, it's like just barely, it's just the size of a composition book. I did not get a big binder, the regular page. This is half page. Make sure I'm appropriately showing you things. This is like half page size, you know, so see. So I liked it too because being a smaller size and not a large notebook didn't feel so overwhelming every time I opened it. I mean, I can open it with one hand. And you can easily make a binder and photocopy the pages out of the book and stick it into a binder. But for me, that large space contained, I hate to even tell you, let's see if I could show you without providing personal information. Because, oh, wait. I gotta flip that over. I think we got it. Okay, because seriously, this is what my desk looks like. So, having space is not something I have. So I didn't want a really big binder, and then I gotta find a place to set my binder at. I really like this. It's light enough. I can set it on top of my keyboard, and it's really easy to grab, and it looks inconspicuous. Nobody's gonna grab it and think much of it. I might now change the paper, scrapbook paper out there. So, and that's just scrapbook paper. You can buy these at Staples. And one of the cool things is you can make any form. And when you go to print it, you can set the preferences to do 2 on 1 page. And when you do that, you automatically print 2 to 1 page. You cut it in half with, you know, paper cutter or scissors, and you punch holes in it. They do sell the binder one at Staples. It's like $7. So I figured it was really not a bad one. The nice part is too, you can buy these like little, you know, so if you need to stick anything in there to store. So one of the things I did is I went right off the bat. This is nothing spectacular. You see my tabs, my dividers. This is literally scrapbook paper. I cut in half. I laminated the whole sheet. I stuck a label that I printed on the computer, the clear labels, stuck it on here, and I laminated a whole sheet, cut them in half, and this became my year in, year out divider. And every January I'm like, don't give up, kind of deal. Okay, so that is how I made them. And then I just get the little tabs and I stick them here. And then I reuse them every year. I don't ever take them out. At the end of this year, last year, I just took all the pieces out and I used big binder clips. And I'm like, here is 2015. Now we're in 2016. The things I keep in my, in each month is I keep a calendar, a basic calendar. One of the things I like to do in that calendar is I like to mark when we're paid. And what I had to learn the hard way, because I'm not used to the routine, I should be by now, of what bills come when. One of the things I like to do is, I can do my January one, is I like to write in a different color what bills. Yes, we use credit cards. I know, we're bad Dave Ramsey people, but we do. So I can then mark off when I've done them. The other part too is reminding me to be regular, because being a stay-at-home mom, my days run together. I like to put a big check mark when I have paid bills so I can be like, okay, that's the last time I worked, because I'll forget. So I will get into more details on another video, but the things I like to keep in my, that has really helped me out. So for every month, I keep a blank calendar. These are easy to print off. You can find a PDF. Just do PDF monthly calendar. I print them 2 to a page, cut them in half, and I bind. You know, I just put a hole puncher in. Then the next thing I've done is I've created a register. This is a very basic register. I mean, just look at your bank statement. See, it's just columns. And I put a page in for every account that I have. And so like we have, you're probably in the same boat. We have the primary account that our paycheck goes into and we pay our bills out of. That's my first page. And then in order that I use them. My very last page is always, we have an HSA, a health savings account. And I keep that in the back. And then I can track what we've paid medically, the whole 9 yards. So I use that. I love all the other forms that Dave Ramsey has, but I have a hard time making time to use them. So I made a customized monthly cash flow, and I never filled it out for the month. Yeah. I did my allotment spending form that I made, and I never filled it out for the month. And the thing I do with those is I actually just, I print them out on a whole landscape style, and I just fold them and stick them in. And it works out really well. The one thing I am trying to do a little different this year to commit to and not try to eat the whole elephant at one time is I kind of reprinted my allotment, and instead of doing my allotment, you know, for each pay period, I'm actually doing it per month. And so I'm hoping that I'll go through and calculate that. Some of my problem is the cash envelope system is great, but I'm having a hard time making myself write down where I spent to have an idea of what I spent in each category. So some of that just might be my categories are too narrow kind of deal. I didn't mean for the video to go so long, but this is just an idea, because I've talked to a lot of people like, I just don't know how to manage, you know, my registers. You know, I know how to balance my checkbook, but just keeping all the information straight. And it's hard when you're trying to keep it in a little register book and you got all these register books and you're like, where it is. And so I just found it so much easier to think of everything by the month and not by the accounts. And, you know, you're trying to figure out where you're at. So I made this. I do try to keep some of my receipts. One thing I probably need to add in here eventually is categories on where I spend on things that we need to keep track of. So I'm going to do another video on this, on how I actually run and operate using it. I have a couple little tricks that I've figured out along the way that might be useful. So I don't want to run a 30-minute video. So we'll leave it at that. So I will be working on 2 videos. So peace out.